Hi, this is Cameron, one of the head managers of the intramural office. If you just want to start talking about your job a little bit and like who you manage and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm one of five graduate assistants here that we all work together, and we are responsible for coordinating all of the sports, scheduling all of the leagues, getting teams signed up, marketing, and primarily responsible for recruiting and training all of our officials that we use for the various sports that we have. Um, and scheduling them throughout the season as the season goes on.
Okay, and so like through the company, through the intramural office, how would you define the culture? More like laid back or more on time policy?
It's a little bit of a mixture of both, between sort of laid back as well as kind of strict to policies. We have all of our policies and procedures in place that we enforce on a daily basis, but the environment as a whole is a little bit more laid back in the sense that we're always around sports, having fun, and enjoying what we're doing, but at the same time, still making sure that we utilize our policies and procedures to enforce safe and fun play for all of our leagues that we have across the board.
And is it ever a challenge for you to relay the culture to new employees, especially since there's foreign students that come in and whatnot?
It can be a little bit of a challenge, especially if you have some of those, like some international students that come in. But for the most part, for our officials, the people that are coming out to officiate for us really enjoy. They already enjoy playing. We have most of our officials also play intramural sports, so it's kind of we get a lot of people from participants, so we don't necessarily have to relay as much of the culture to a lot of the people because they're already around it on a regular basis, and they see what we're doing and they want to be a part of that, which is why they come and work for us and officiate.
Great. And then since everyone that works here is a student, what are some challenges coming to working with strictly students?
Probably the biggest challenge is the balance between school and work. We pride ourselves on being able to be flexible with student schedules based on classes and homework and tests and stuff like that. But that's probably the biggest challenge. Is a lot of the times the students aren't necessarily used to having a job that they work during while they're also a full-time student, and so they're really having to learn the balance of time management between knowing when their shifts are and having to be at their shifts and plan when they're going to study and plan when they're going to do their homework, as opposed to the normal full-time students that are used to just having the nightly basis to study and be ready for school. So that's the biggest issue, is the time management balance between the two.
Definitely, definitely. And then, so how do you personally, in the office, increase productivity and when people are on the job task?
I think that kind of going back to the culture of being a little bit more laid back but sticking to the policies really helps us, because we can allow the students to understand that whenever they're here, they need to be on, like, give us everything that they have for the job, and then whenever they leave, they can go back to being a full-time student. And so, really making sure that we enforce things like not working on homework while they're on clock, or if there's a forfeits, that they're really taking the time to watch other games to try and get better, as opposed to just doing their homework or not paying attention, because that doesn't put the best foot forward for our program and what we want to build that culture. So really making sure that whenever they're on the clock, they're with like they're working for us, as opposed to still having their mind on school and stuff like that.
All right, well, that's all I have today. So thank you,
Perfect.
Cameron.
Absolutely.